Workers' Day in South Africa. We know that this is a day with a history that dates back to the 1800s, especially in the US, when they were complaining about working long hours, about 16 hours, but they gathered together so that they can have an 8-day shift. Well, in South Africa, we've got our own unique situation. We know that the workers also played a huge role in terms of fighting against the apartheid. We know about the Defiance campaign that took place in 1952. And of course, this day was officially recognized as the Workers' Day after the first democratic vote in 1994. Well, the National Union of Metal Workers has gathered here in KwaZulu-Natal, in Durban in particular. Just next to us is a Caris Fountain. We know that also it's one of the stadiums that's also celebrating a century this year. Let us welcome the Deputy General Secretary of NUMSA here in South Africa, Mr. Mbuso Ngubane, who's going to take us through about the day's program. And also today you are also uniting on the banner that says, "Workers of the world, let us unite. We've got nothing to lose but your chains." What do you mean by that?
Greetings to you. We are saying clearly as NUMSA, we continue with our struggle for the workers, and as we continue the struggle of the workers, today it's an international day, as we have said, and this is a day where we must relook and reflect on what would have transpired over the years, and what were the gains that we would have secured as workers over the years, but what are the challenges that keep on challenging us as workers. As you know that today, as workers, we continue to fight with our employers under the machine. We have employers who are in transition, who are planning against our members 24 hours, and with us it's about also how do we use this day to empower our own members. Remember that in most cases we'll only access shop stewards who have also a limited time off for union activities, but this day allows even ordinary members of our unions to be out and attend our activities as union. And today you are going to be seeing us also educating, politically inducting our members so that we can arm them to be able to confront all these sort of unbecoming situations that are confronted with in different companies. But also, we also dedicating this day as well in solidarity with the Palestinians. As you will know that a lot of workers are suffering there. Civilians have been killed, children have been killed. We are told that more than 30,000 people have been killed in that part of the world. And there's NUMSA together with SAPO, together with Matusa, together with Abahlali baseMjondolo, we've gathered as well here to say there must be ceasefire in that part of the world, to say it is wrong to kill the civilians, it is worse even to kill the children. So as part of international community, we don't forget about those struggles of the Palestinians. But at the same time, we're coming back home. We've been witnessing a number of developments, and most of those developments are not in favor of the working class. As we speak today, we are told that we should be reducing the use, if we were not even doing away with the use of coal, so that we can be able to produce our own electricity like we used to do. And as a result, some of our companies are closing down. Who suffers mostly? It is our members, because they get confronted with retrenchments, and when they are confronted with retrenchments, unions must be up in arms, must be able to have capacity to negotiate for those members to get reasonable packages. But for us is that if we are really having a democratic country and we're saying there's a democratic dispensation, we should be asking ourselves, whose democracy are we talking about if we continue to shelf jobs instead of creating more jobs? As we speak now, you look at the auto sector, there are layoffs. And when there is a layoff in the OEMs, you look at Toyota, there's a layoff, you're looking at Mercedes and so forth. And when they go to layoffs, you must know that the value chain also suffer. So those also workers who work in the component manufacturing and so forth, the entire value chain get affected. And at the end of the day, as unions, we also need to say what do we do during that particular time. And these are the discussions that we're also going to be having today. And what becomes the role and how do we improve our working relations with the sitters so that we can also use the sitters during those layoffs to try and leverage from there so that our members can upskill and reskill themselves during those particular difficult times.
Yes, we know just across the road there's a political party, they're campaigning for the upcoming election, general election. We know that NUMSA also has a political party or political home, which is a Socialist Revolution Workers' Party. They took part, they registered in 2019, but this time around they are not in the election list for the parties that are registered for the upcoming elections. What is the mandate that is going to be given to the workers today, because you are also gathering here with the shop stewards?
Look, NUMSA would have been a catalyst in the establishment of the SRWP, as you have mentioned. However, remember that the nature and character of that party, it is a socialist party, and we advance the struggle at the shop floor, but also joining forces with other international socialist organizations. So we continue doing that work in that front, and as we have said, the structures have not said this time around we should register for the party to contest elections. However, this week there is a political session that we have in that includes also other progressive formations, because I know that maybe your question might be to say how do we guide our members going to the 29th of May. So out of that session that we're going to be having this coming Friday, it is then that we're going to guide and give a proper framework to our members and to all progressive forces as to how do we think they should be looking at these upcoming elections, and how do they determine who to vote for on the election day. Thank you.
That's Mbuso Ngubane, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the NUMSA, saying that abahlali basemjondolo, that's a Shek Dwellers movement, as well as the Municipal and Allied Trade Union of South Africa, that is Matusa, will all be gathering here with NUMSA members. Especially they'll be conducting an induction to the shop stewards who have just come on board to the NUMSA members.